Hey guys, my name's Warren and I'm here to show you through the tester dashboard and give you some advice on how to make the best of your tester account. So if you've just signed up, you should see a dashboard very similar to this with a few introductory tests at the top, and you might have some blank boxes here for managing your devices that you're going to test on. If you've been with us for a few years now, some of this should already be filled in, and you should have green ticks down here, all your devices, numbers in your stats, all that sort of thing. But we're going to be focusing mostly on new testers and how to make the best of your account, get more tests coming in, and ultimately rack up your rewards. So we'll go through the dashboard first. The first thing you should see is your tests. Now, early on, as a brand new tester, you'll have introductory low-value tests that kind of get you started, teach you how tests will come in and how to fill out the questionnaires, and just really kind of give you a briefing of how things will sort of evolve going forward with your tests. So we'll go deeper into those in a second. Next, you'll have your devices. So as a brand new tester, you shouldn't have anything here. You might have a mobile phone, depends on whether you added that during your setup process. If you don't, make sure you think of any devices, whether they're consoles, computers, mobile phones, even VR headsets, anything that you have or have access to via family or friends that you could put in this device list here that you could potentially test with. So say you're an Android user like myself, but your friend or your sister or something uses iOS, and you want to be invited to as many tests as possible to rack up your rewards. You could potentially add your sister or your friend's iOS device in here and be invited to those tests. So just think when you're adding your devices, what have I got access to and what could I potentially do a test on? Obviously you have to have permission from anybody's device. After that, you've got your test stats. As a long-term tester, these should be, you should see numbers in each one of these. As a new tester, you might not see that much, but it just gives you an overview of the tests that you've done, and you can keep track of anything that's happened along the way. Below that, you'll have a checklist. You shouldn't have too many green ticks on these as you start, but this is basically the top 10 things we'd like you to do once you create your account to make sure that you're making the most of your profile. As you click any of these and go through any requirements, they'll turn green. Some of them will be tied to achievements that are built into the website. After that, you should have our announcements. This is for any news or any alerts for any tests that are upcoming, giveaways, promotions, that sort of thing. So basically, if you want to hear about what's going on and you don't follow our social platforms for whatever reason, this is where the important information will lie. Underneath that, you've just got your notifications. This again will be very blank as a new user, but as you do more tests and as you're invited to more things, this will flesh out, and you can click View All to go to the page and read through your achievement history that goes all the way back to when your account was first created. So that's kind of an overview of the dashboard. Let's talk about tests now. So as I say, when you start, you should have some introductory, some questionnaires, some mobile device registrations, and you might have something, a small test to kind of get the ball rolling with your account. So we'll look at this one, Gems of War. Sorry, let's go back to the dashboard. First of all, you will notice that it will tell you how much your rewards you get, your gold reward and your XP reward, and it will tell you a general estimation, that's the word, isn't it? Estimate of how long that test will take. So here you can see it says 30 minutes. That's how long it should take you, roughly. If you click that test, you'll get some screenshots of the game. You can flick through these, see if it's the type of thing that you'd like. If not, you don't have to test every game you're invited to, and you're not penalised if you don't. But we would like you just to decline so that that invite slot goes to somebody else and frees it up for another one of our testers. If it is the sort of thing you'd be into, you can accept and start that test almost right away, depending on the type of test it is. Here you can see from accept, you'll have 72 hours to do that test. So it's worth noting this down, because if you accept and 72 hours passes, not all of them will be 72, some of them will just be, some of them are just mere hours. So make sure you take note of this time, because if that elapses and you haven't accepted or cancelled that test, if you haven't completed or cancelled that test, then you can be penalised and XP can be deducted from your account. So it's worth either completing or cancelling a test. We'll go over cancelling soon. Up here, you should see the rewards. At the moment, it just shows the gold reward and your estimated time. You've then got a description, some instructions. Here you can see this is multi-platform, so we show all the devices you can test on, a description, and some system requirements. That's all that you really need to take in. The only other thing that's worth noting is down here you should have a confidentiality warning, whether it's whether sharing is allowed, so whether you can stream or review the game or whatever. But some games will be strictly confidential, whether they're not announced or they're still deep in development. So you need to take note of this. As you accept a test, you'll get another box up here that will have custom text for each test to tell you what you're permitted to do and what you're not allowed to do. This is very important. So we'll accept this one for now. Here you'll see you get the download links for whatever platform it's running on. You'll have how long with a countdown of how long you have to do that test, and you'll also have a cancel button here. So first of all, let's go back to your dashboard. Here you can see this has changed now. It now gives you a countdown of how long you have to complete that test. We're pretty generous with this one because it's an ongoing test, so you have 3 days really from the moment you accept to play the game and submit your feedback. But say something comes up, or your internet goes out, or it's a scheduled blackout or whatever, you can cancel your test for whatever reason. And we encourage people to do this if they don't have time anymore to do that test. And what that will do is it will let us know, I can't be there, please offer this slot to somebody else, and it will remove it from your profile. So if we click cancel, you can give your reason, whatever it may be. That's fine by us. We'll say no for now. But if you can do it, you can just click complete test. It'll ask for your feedback and you'll submit it. So moving on from that, we'll go back to the dashboard. The most important thing you want to bear in mind when you first create your account is building your XP. Now there's many ways you can build your XP. Some of them will just be through these introductory tests. Some of them will be from unlocking checklists, items, and achievements, which we'll go over later. And some of it can be from high quality feedback. A developer or a member of staff at Game Tester may see your feedback, be impressed, and reward you with a bonus tip in XP. There's also competitions that we run for, earning extra rewards for good feedback. So early on, you want to be as thorough as you can in the feedback that you provide, and you want to do as much in your account as possible to build that XP up. Because what that basically does is give us a rough sort of guideline as how engaged you are as a tester. The higher your XP, the more likely you are to be sent tests, well, invites to those tests anyway. And the gold is your reward for every test that you do. You sometimes get gold rewards for achievements as well, so there are other ways to earn gold. And this gold is essentially your currency on the website, which you can spend in our shop, which is another thing that we'll go over later. So, you created your account. With XP in mind, the best place to go right at the start is to your gamer profile. So this is in the sort of header up here. If you click Game Profile, you'll have 3 tabs up here which are worth filling out as soon as you create your account. Here you can see we ask for any spoken languages or written languages that you know, whether you're a social or casual or hardcore player. Whether you prefer single or multiplayer games, you can tick all of those, that's fine. How many hours you typically spend gaming a week, and your sort of internet download and upload speed. Next is genres. And here, we've got an extensive list of different genres and the sort of games that fit in those categories to kind of give you a bit of a guide to what each genre involves. If there's any that you don't like, so for example, we've got platformer unticked here. What that essentially means is that you are much less likely to get invited to platformer games. Now, a developer running a test through us might be open to people that aren't into platformers to kind of get the feedback from a broad range of testers. So you might still be invited to platforming games, but it will lessen your chances. And as I say, declining a test is fine by us anyway if you're not interested. So this just kind of gives us a better idea of the sort of things you're into, and as a result, you'll be invited to more tests of the types that you're interested in. Moving on is devices. Now this is probably the most important thing you can do for your profile. Obviously, if you don't have a mobile phone and you don't add it to your devices, we won't invite you to that test because we won't consider you as a person with the device to run that test on. So it's really important to put every device that you own into this list, or every device that you at least have access to into this list, so that we can send those invites to you as an owner of one of these devices. As we saw earlier, Gems of War, for example, is a multi-platform test, so you could run it on any one of these devices or all of these devices. So yeah, it's important to add as many that you have access to. That's your gamer profile pretty much tied up. There's connections which allows you to, connect your Twitch or your YouTube, YouTube upcoming. So we'll move on to tests. On the dashboard, you'll only see your latest 3, but here you can see we've got 5 tests that new users might typically see, from device registrations to questionnaires to actual games. Here just gives you an overview of each one, the rewards you're likely to receive, well, that you will receive, and how long it's estimated to take to do each test. Test history gives you an overview of what you've done in the past, whether you've completed it or whether you didn't complete it. It will also tell you the rewards, so it just gives you a good way of tracking what you've done in the past. Next is quite an important one, so this is the shop. This will be different for every user depending on their region, but bare minimum you should see the vouchers. And what these allow you to do is, once you've got enough gold, GT Gold, to claim, you can turn it into these extreme vouchers or XTRM vouchers, and essentially you can turn those into prepaid Visa cards. You can turn them into online gift vouchers, that sort of thing, and it all translates into your own currency. And in some regions, you're even able to do bank transfers. So it's a good way of turning, your hard work into real cash, money that you can spend in the areas that you wish to. And in some areas, there's products and stuff that you can buy, physical products in the store. So it's a good thing to check out as soon as you sign up, so you can see the sort of rewards you're looking to get, and keep an eye on your gold. And as it increases, you can spend it in this store. Next up is support. So obviously, we'll have bugs from time to time. We're not perfect, and as testers, you'll be able to spot those things, I imagine. And if you have trouble with your account, you can submit a ticket, and we'll look into it and get back to you. Other things in the support are the FAQs, so if you do have a question, maybe it's answered there. And we do have a basic tutorial if you would like to refresh the basics of using the website. So if you'd like to submit a ticket, you just click this here. Here you should see any history of any support tickets you have if you've created them in the past, but if not, click Create New Ticket, give us the description of your problem, and if you've got any attachments that will help us understand the issue, you can click this here. Obviously, if you're having trouble testing a game, if it's a bug or the game doesn't load properly, we might not be able to help with this, because obviously each test will have its own complications. That's why developers run tests with us to find bugs, and depending on your system or your device specifications, some games might not run, and in that case we would encourage people to cancel the test. But if you feel like maybe there's a way that we're able to support, you can put a message in here and we'll look into it and get back to you. So after that, we've gone through most of the tabs. The only other thing is achievements. So we're working to increase this list of achievements. We've got a few here for you to get stuck into. As you can see at the bottom, more are coming soon. So we're hoping to flesh this out, but you will get rewards for completing these achievements, and it will help us understand a little bit more about you as a tester, and it will help flesh out your account. It's a good way to, it's almost like a breadcrumb trail that you can follow to boost your account's information and increase your likelihood of getting in tests. One thing I would mention for all new testers with us is that it can be slow early on. Your XP will be low. You won't have done many tests, so we won't have learned much about you as a tester or your interests. So it's really important to bear in mind that things will be slow early on. You might not receive many tests in a given month, but as you use us and as you provide really strong feedback, things will improve and tests will come through at a faster rate. So just hold on, flesh out your profile as much as you can, accept as many invites as you can, and hopefully, as your account ages and increases his experience, invites will come through at a faster speed, and you can accept or decline as many of those as you want. It's all based around your time and your preferences. So thank you for joining us. We really look forward to having you as a tester, and enjoy.